bro, somehow RDR pulled it off, man. Like, I'm still wrapping my head around it. A split decision win over Robert Whittaker. And you already know, the second the scorecards got read, people lost it. All you hear online is, that was a robbery. Folks screaming through their throats like the judges just robbed them personally. But for me, I didn't see it as some big robbery. I just saw it as a really close fight. You know, it's a really weird fight, I'll say. But before we get into the whole debate, let's just talk about how the fight started, because when that opening bell rang, I legit thought Rob was about to cruise through RDR. Like, I'm watching those first couple exchanges and thinking, "Oh yeah, Rob's level is ahead of him, you know? He's looking patient, sharp, composed. He's just doing his thing, popping that jab, checking the range, looking smooth. Meanwhile, RDR is looking uncomfortable. He was already reaching in, trying to clinch up, and just looked awkward, like Gumby with 4 elbows. All limbs and no structure, you know? He didn't really have much success with it right away. Either way, Rob was shrugging him off, circling the cage, keeping things, very clean. The difference in technique was clear as day. Rob was landing those flick jabs, blitzing in with that 1-2, even mixing in some sneaky left hooks when RDR came forward, lazy, that vintage Bobby Knuckles. Like, if you're a Rob fan, you were probably feeling pretty good about the first 2 minutes or two. But here's where it starts getting a little interesting. Even though RDR was kind of, failing early on, he did have those sneaky moments. He landed some sneaky knees during those clinch moments, and I think he landed 2 pretty solid ones in the first round. They weren't fight changing yet, but it was like, okay, he's doing something. He's trying to make it messy, trying to find the little openings in those chaos. Still, even with all that, Rob looked so much more refined. The way he was moving, the way he was resetting and getting back to the center, and felt like he was in full control. You could tell that RDR was trying to drag him to a different kind of fight, but in the opening round, Rob was kind of dictating everything. He looked like the better fighter, he was landing cleaner, moving smarter, and honestly, it felt like we were going that route, and it felt like it was going to be Rob's night. So we move into that second round, and bro, I'm still sitting there like, okay, this is Rob's fight all day at this point. Like, legit, I was watching it unfold thinking, yep, this is textbook Robert Whittaker. He's tagging RDR again, popping him with that jab, landing clean shots, keeping the distance tight and technical. And RDR, he's still struggling to get anything going. He's reaching, falling on takedown attempts, not really setting anything up. And I'm just like, damn, this dude's getting outclassed. And at this point, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be one of those clean 5-round Whittaker performances. Might not be the flashiest, but he's clearly the better guy. And then, out of nowhere, man, something just changes, like a switch flips in RDR's head. He stops hesitating, he starts pushing forward, and actually start working behind the jab. Nothing too crazy, but it was landing. Just sharp enough to cause a bit of damage, even open up a little cut, or at least had Rob leaking a bit, which you could tell shift the energy. That was the moment where I sat up like, okay, hold on. Then came the knees. You heard it, bro. That knee to the body landed clean. And right after that, you can hear Rob gasp. You could see him hit him different. He kind of folded for a second, not dropping, but like he got the air sucked out of him, He gave up the takedown right away, and that's when RDR just took over the round. He got on top, stayed heavy, and kept Rob stuck for the most of it. It's not like he was smashing him with ground and pound or anything, but he was controlling the position, landing a few shots over the guard, nothing massive. Rob did an alright job defending, trying to work his way back to the cage, but he never fully got out of it. Rob wasn't really threatening with anything, but he was just kind of surviving. So yeah, second round definitely swung towards RDR. You could feel the momentum shift a little, like it wasn't a domination round, but it was the first time in this fight where RDR was clearly in control, and he clearly won the round. With that being said, round 3 kicks off, and honestly, I started getting a little tense, man. Like, RDA came out like he was about to take over again. He was pushing forward with real intent, coming down the pipe with straight punches, walking Rob backwards, and you could feel the shift, man. It was one of those moments where I'm sitting there thinking like, wait, is Rob about to let it slip? RDR is just looking like he found a second win or something. He was dialed in, mixing in the pressure, throwing in those straight punches with some snaps on them, and Rob was getting backed up. Then, out of nowhere, boom! RDR goes to the well again, tries to land that same knee to the body that worked earlier, and you can see him loading it up like he was thinking, this is my moment. But this time, Rob saw it coming, he read the thing like a book, and out of nowhere, just uncorked the nastiest overhand right. It was like full-on UFC 4 controls, okay? You know what I'm talking about with the R1 square? Fully loaded, fully committed, and it landed flush, clean on the chin. And dude, RDR got dropped hard. I thought it was over for a second. I thought his lights were out. The way he crumbled, man, it looked like Rob just deleted him. But somehow, RDR hanged on, and Rob swarmed him, started hammering him with ground and pound, and I'm thinking, this is about to get the finish. But give RDR his credit, man. He's durable as hell. He weathered it, grabbed onto something, managed to survive the round. Even got the takedown late, but let's be real, it didn't mean much. Rob had already taken the soul of that round. The knockdown, the ground control, the pressure, that was all Rob. That was the cleanest round of the fight up to that point. There was no debate, no controversy. That was a Whittaker round all day. So now, we're heading into round 4, and I've got it like 2-1 Rob. With all that being said, RDR came out with that same energy he had in the second. Dude wasn't backing off at all. He just kept walking Rob down, throwing out the jab, kept that pressure up, and right away, you could see his target again, the body. He stepped in and landed another clean knee to the midsection. You could tell it bothered Rob. He didn't fold, but you can see that it kind of tensed up, maybe even flinched a little. That shot definitely got his attention. Then RDR started mixing in his hands a bit more. Nothing too crazy or technical, but he landed just enough to make Rob to think. It wasn't a ton of volume, but it was the pace. He was making it a grimy fight, just pushing Rob into these uncomfortable spots against the cage. And Rob, to his credit, did try to respond. He landed a solid overhand left midway through that made RDR back off for a second. You could tell that one shook them a bit. It wasn't a full momentum swing, but it reminded you that Rob still had the power. And for a split second, I thought Rob might flip the round right there. Like he reversed the clinch, got out of a bad spot, and it felt maybe he was going to build something off of that. But nope. RDR just got back to his face. He didn't let it rattle him. He ate the shots, take a breath, and go straight back to the body with another knee. Then a right over the top, and that's where he really took control over again. Not by hurting Rob bad, but by suffocating him with pressure. He closed out the round holding Rob against the cage, grinding him out, making it ugly. It wasn't a super damaging round, but it was smart. It was the kind of round where Rob had a couple clean moments, but RDR just did more across the whole 5 minutes. That late control, the knee, the pace, he stole that round for sure. So yeah, after that, I had a 2-2 going into the 5th. Rob had the 1st and the 3rd, and RDR took the 2nd and the 4th. And now it all comes down to the last round, which is the 5th round. So we're heading to round 5, and like I just mentioned, I've got a 2-2. This is the decider, and both guys kind of view it too. You can kind of feel the tension. Rob came out trying to keep it sharp, looking light on his feet, flicking the jab again, staying composed, and RDR, bro, had the same game plan. He walked forward, jabbing at the body, trying to close the distance and grind Rob against the fence again. Right away, RDR shoots in for a single leg, trying to get that takedown early. But this time, Rob's ready, stuffs it clean, he sprawls and resets. And I'm still thinking like, all right, this is good. Just keep off of him, But RDR doesn't let up. He's right back in, pushing Rob to the cage, working the clinch, throwing some short knees to the body, just staying in his face. It's not the prettiest work. I mean, far from it, but it's effective. He's eating up the clock, forcing Rob to fight in tight, and you could tell it was annoying Rob. Now, Rob does have a couple clean moments though. He circles out, lands a nice jab, rips a shot to the body, and even sneaks in a sharp right hand, but nothing really stings RDR too much. It's more like a little touch, just scoring. Meanwhile, RDR still chipping away, more knees to the midsection, leaning on him, controlling those tie-ups. It was grimy, it was slow, but it was working in his favor. And honestly, neither guy really takes over. Like, there's no damn, oh, damn moment in that round. It's just a lot of fighting for the inches. RDR landed a jab, Rob answered it with a body shot, RDR clinches, Rob escapes, RDR shoots, Rob's defends, over and over again. No one's really running away with it, in my opinion. But here's the thing. RDR just did enough to keep Rob uncomfortable. He controlled the pace, he closed the distance, he leaned on him, and yeah, Rob was defending well and landed some decent stuff, but he never got that one clear moment to swing the round clean back to his direction. So when the round ended, I was like, man, this can go either way. But if you're the judge, you saw who landed the more damage and the pressure in that 5th round, so that's most likely why they chose RDR to win it. But yeah, that 5th, not explosive, not dramatic, just gritty back and forth, close as hell. And now it's up to the judges, where things got spicy. And all right, bro, let's just keep it real. I thought RDR won this fight, not because he looked better or landed cleaner. He won it because he made it kind of his fight, straight up. Like, yeah, Rob was landing prettier shots, and don't get it twisted. He was snapping the jab, moving well, picking his moments, but RDR didn't care about all that. He just kept walking forward, clinching up, and making it grimy. He was sticking Rob to the cage, leaning him on the cage, landing those short knees to the body. Nothing wild, but you can see where it was adding up. There was a couple moments, especially in round 2 and round 4, where you could tell Rob felt him. He was tensing up, his movement was slowing down, and RDR just kept going. It was like he wasn't trying to smother every clean exchange with some dirty grinding clinch work. And the judges, they ate that shit up, man. They're watching RDR control the fight, pushing Rob against the fence, and landing just enough to stay active. Meanwhile, Rob's doing better on the feet, but in short bursts. RDR was always doing something, even if it wasn't big. Like, yeah, Rob had the knockdown in round 3, and that was clearly his best moment. But outside of that, RDR was just a more consistent, more active, and more annoying. He's dragging the fight into places where Rob couldn't really get comfortable. And when it's that close, when there's no clear winner in the 5th, that grinding ugly style ends up winning the round. So nah, he didn't steal it. He didn't rob Whittaker. He just made the fight muddy and won a little moment. And that's how he got the nod.